Oh, what is up, everybody? Welcome to your Thursday edition of Hard Rock Lunchbox. As if there were another kind. Welcome, everybody. I was early today. I know. I actually got everything, and I rushed in here like normal. And then I looked at the time. I was like, it's 11:57. That never happens. So applause to me. Yes, thank you for acknowledging. I am indeed a top fan now. I was given my top fan badge from the Millennium Music Conference, of all places, and they made me a top fan. Still not a top fan over at the After Hours review, but I'll take that up with Daniel and Veronica at some point. I will refuse. How about that? I'll just refuse to go on their show anymore until they make me a top fan, and we'll just see what happens. I'm sure it's going to affect them and the After Hours review exactly 0%. But it would certainly be fun. Maybe I'll just agree to be on the interview and then just not say anything until they recognize me as a top fan. Does that sound like spoiled lead singer syndrome enough for everybody? To be fair, I used to think a lot of the After Hours review. I actually had it all set to promote our very own Giovanna was going to be on the After Hours review tonight, and it turns out that she is just too big to do their little show. And I say, good for you, kid. Because I don't know what the actual story was. She just said. She just said that it was canceled, and I assumed it was her. In a funny way. I'm sure it was just a scheduling thing, but why waste a perfectly good opportunity to drive G absolutely nuts, is what I always say. Oh, she has an update. Giovanna will be rescheduled for the 13th. Ooh, that doesn't work for me. Sorry. You're going to have to... At 6:30. Oh, my God. What are we, poor? What's going on? Kidding. Sorry, if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but it is going on the chat up here. Team Uppity has entered the building, as it were, and they are here on the site of my host station, 99 WNRR, and that's always good because... It is. 99 WNRR is New Regal Radio, and that's the official station of which I work for. And you can check that out everywhere. I think we're now on Live 365 too, but I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. There's a lot going on in the chat. I'm going to just stop looking at it so I can concentrate on the stuff I want to tell you. Quick programming note, the Top 20, the new episode of the Top 20 is out today. You can check it out on Strangerhood TV. Land yourself over at strangerhoodtv.com, and you can get yourself over there, and you will see it. It's the episode where I talk about eating bananas, hammers, and an eagle's... No, eating bananas, the internet, and birthday reminders. So not a great top 20, but not better or worse than any other top 20, in my opinion. So, that's, hey, man. Just trying to do a show here. That's all I'm trying to do. Anyway, so what I wanted to talk about today on the Top 20, it's kind of an extension of what I was talking about a couple weeks ago, and not even me, like what we were all talking about a couple of weeks ago, regarding like this sort of mentality, like I don't know if it's like the cheese touch from like just this mentality of just not doing the job and like the job not getting done and that kind of being okay. Like there are definitely those of us that just like step into situations like, oh, there's a problem. You know, what song is that? Yo, there's a problem, baby, I'll solve it. Like, can't recall what song that is. I'm sure the chat will come. This is where the chat shines, by the way. So I'm sure they'll have it. But there's definitely that cluster of people that do that, right? Like, just there's a problem. Like I have a buddy who works in like hardware and hardware supplies and stuff, and like, I mean, like, he doesn't tell me everything, but like from what I've gleaned over like the past couple of years, like, I'm pretty sure that place could catch on fire if he took a day off. Like, it's just like, and not that he's Superman, because he's actually Batman about it, but like, you know, he just like, there's a problem, like, yep, I got it, I got you, and he'll just step in and fix it. And the world really needs people like that, because otherwise you're just standing around a bunch of Morlocks looking at each other going like, I don't know, man, you gonna put that fire out? I don't know, do we pee on it? I got some gasoline in my lunchbox, I'll pour that. Like, you know, you need people to just kind of like step in and do stuff, right? So I try and do that in my own life. I love when people do that in outside, like for example, I had a check I needed to mobile deposit. First of all, mobile deposit, could we just take a goddamn second and just, you know what, hold on. You know how I know mobile deposit is, I need a haircut, sorry about that. You know how I know mobile deposit is great? Because I complain about it when it's not working up to my level of satisfaction. Like, the reality is, like, I take a picture of something twice, right? The front and the back. I put in the amount, I hit send, and then money shows up in my bank account. Like, it's literally, like, not even printing money. Like, I'm taking a picture, and I take another picture, $1 bazillion, boop, and then it just goes right in my bank. Like, mobile deposit is the greatest thing. And every now and then I catch myself super annoyed because it's like, oh, the image isn't good. Take the picture again. I'm like, take the picture again? I might as well get off my ass, fill out a deposit slip, get in my car, drive to the bank, wait in line, and give it to you. And spend 20 minutes doing that, or if it's lunchtime, 45 minutes. And it's just like, mobile deposit, thank God. Like, mobile deposit, how do you do it? Like, hard there? I don't know. Don't listen to me. Anyway, oh my God, Vanilla Ice. I quoted Vanilla Ice. You know what? Show's over. Everyone just go home. Go home, everybody. It's cool. It's all right. Sorry about that. I cannot believe I quoted Vanilla Ice. I either just won the internet or lost the internet. I don't have any respect to lose in the chat, so that's not a problem. Anyway, my point is, I had a larger than $10,000. No, I had a $10,000 check I needed to deposit, and my limit was less than that. And so I private messaged the bank. I was like, "Hey, I've got this thing. Like, can we just make like a one-time exception?" And the next day, like, also, and we're going to talk about like what your expectations of support are. The next day, some woman at the bank messaged me back. I went ahead and I upped your whatever. She's like, "You're set to go." She's like, "Just realize like only $5,000 of it will clear that day." And I'm like, I didn't think any of it was going to clear that day. So I'm like, I'm already winning. But I messaged her back. I was like, thank you for doing that. And also, thank you for just going and doing that. Like, not only did you tell me how to fix my problem, but you solved my problem all before I was awake. And that just doesn't happen all that often. So thank you, bank woman, lady. But, relax. It was a business check. It's not my lottery winnings, okay? It's sure as hell not do no harm royalties. I'll tell you that right now. But anyway, so I love that. I love when I come across it in the world. And the reality is, we shouldn't see that as oases and unicorns. Like, that should be kind of the standard. I had, again, with one of the companies that I have to work for on the regular, I put in a support request for something that had gone wrong. They had sent documentation. They had sent it instead of to American Signature Furniture. Is that it? American Signature, whatever. American Signature. They were supposed to send something to them, and they sent it to Amazon. Now, I get it. Both of them start with AM, and, you know, it could be really easy to just sort of screw that up. But they screwed it up, and I needed it reversed, and I needed to know why that happened and how to stop it from happening. Not a huge deal. Like, this wasn't something I needed to call and be like, get me the president. Like, it wasn't anything like that. It was like, hey, man, could you look into this and get back to me? That was Wednesday. It's not yesterday, last Wednesday, right? So I messaged yesterday. It's like, they're like, respond to this ticket. So my account manager's like, you're better off just calling them. I'm like, that's cool. It's not an emergency. I don't have the time to call them. Also, I bill by the hour. And if I bill a client 2 hours for sitting on hold, like, you don't think that's going to be a conversation? Like, I gotta tell you, that would be the best gig. If I could get that kind of money for sitting on hold, I would never be off the phone. I'm just, what are you doing? Working, yeah. No, this is a good remix. I love Taylor Swift. Yeah, totally. But man, I can't do that. I can't send no bill out for 2 hours for listening to elevator music. We just can't do it. But also, I can't do it for free either, because I don't actually care that they sent it to Amazon instead of American Signature, because I do occasionally shop at Amazon. I never shop at American Signature, and I certainly don't sell anything to either of them, so I digress. So I messaged, and my account manager messaged me back. She's like, I did tell you that you should call, and I was like, and I did tell you that I don't have time to sit on hold and wait for something as insignificant as this. However, I think 4+ days, business days, mind you, and a whole weekend in there, business days is enough to wait for an answer. Not to mention, we pay them for this service. Like, we paid them to do this. Like, they make money off of that. And I feel like, at the very least, they should, A, do it right, or B, tell me why they didn't do it right, and C, tell me those things in a timely fashion. And she went to tell me, like, how busy they were, and they really do try and get stuff done. And I'm like, if they have the time to take my phone call, they have the time to answer my email. Just because I'm not some dick and some schnurr that's like, my problem's more important than yours. Because it's not. Like, I do business. Like, I have three support requests with them. This is the least important. Like, as soon as I'm off here, I have to call them on something else because they're royally screwing something up in another area. So I will be on the phone with them, and maybe I'll just bang out all three. Point is, the answer I got back was like, some people suck. And it's like, that's not the right answer. Like, it literally says customer support services in your signature. Like, and I am certainly a customer, but I'm neither getting support nor service, and it's sort of pissing me off. And I said that it's kind of the average, like a 72-hour turnaround is your average for a question on something you guys did wrong. And I realized that juxtaposition of, like, what happened at the bank where it's like, yep, here's an issue and I just solved it for you, versus like, well, what do you want me to tell you? Like, this, it's kind of like how it is. Like, no, not how it is. And I'll give you even a further example, and the whole reason I'm talking about that, because it ties in my beloved Hurricanes with this situation as well. As you may remember, or may not remember, but if you do remember, my beloved Hurricanes, they won their division last year. Now, we are in the champion division. There is only one division above us. It is the Premier Division. About the season before this last one, we were in the Premier Division. And our team lost some really good players. Our team also folded in some players that were a year younger than the rest of the team. South Huntington does not have a team because it's by age. They have a team above us. They do not have a team below us. And so we took in and have some of those players. They're a little younger. Doesn't matter. They're equally skilled. They're equally qualified. But when you start stretching that stuff out, I had 12-year-old girls at the far end playing against 14, almost 15-year-old girls on the other teams. That matters. That matters a little bit when you're fighting for a ball, especially at that age. You know, the difference between 26 and 28 is pretty negligible, but anyone that's a parent or ever been around a child will tell you the difference between 0 and 2 is sizable, and it kind of just keeps moving like that. The difference starts massively and then kind of gets smaller as you get older, right? Like the difference between 100 and 102 is like not even worth bringing up, although it might be death, honestly. I don't know what the actual difference is. But so the season before this, we were in Premier. We didn't win a single game. We tied once. We didn't win a single game. We were short on our roster. We played a lot of games with no subs. And honestly, this is the top level of Long Island soccer. Like the soccer that goes all the way to the World Cup. Like we are in that organization. And on Long Island, in where we are and where we exist, that Premier is the top level you can go in this World Cup sort of track and stuff like that. And we were playing against teams that practice 2 to 4 times a week, and my team doesn't. And we've made a conscious decision. We were like, we are not going to be that team that's like, run faster, do it or die. You know, like we're not that team. In fact, I don't think I have a single player on my team, maybe 1 or 2 players on my team where soccer is their main sport. Pretty much everybody else on my team has something else that they do. They're basketball, they're lacrosse. I have a lot of volleyball girls. I have one girl that does dance. She's like really, really good. And all of these things, when it's important, take precedence over. Like if I'm playing this lacrosse tournament in Maryland, I can't beat the game. Cool, kid, go do that. Right? Like that's this team. This team is a group of Hurricanes that want to play together, and they like their team. They love their team, in fact, and they love doing it together, but they have other things to do, and fortunately they have a coach and an assistant coach that understands that. You know what I mean? Like I'm somebody that's in a band, and sometimes things have to yield to the fact that I'm touring or doing an interview or recording or whatever. Like I get it all day. So anyway, sorry that's taking so long. So the Hurricanes really had a horrible season in Premier. We dropped down to champion, and we had a great season. We arguably had our best season ever. And by best, I mean we played the best we've ever played. We had amazing turnout because we moved to Sundays, so we had less conflicts. And we got so lucky. And the reason I know that is because the league pushed us up to Premier again, because we won our division, which on its face is fine. It's what they're supposed to do. There's an appeals process, and the appeals process, in my opinion, is supposed to be exactly for this sort of situation. And what I did was I laid out. Now, you need to know there's 1,500 teams plus in the league, so it's a lot. There were 64 appeal requests. 30 of them were granted, the rest were denied. We were denied. And I threw a shit fit because I am convinced that nobody even bothered to look at what I sent in, because the research I was doing when I found this out, what I had to do is I had to state why we should not be in Premier. And I also supplied information of why some of the teams that were still in Champion were better than us. And it turns out it was easy to because I was able to say, look, we lost to New Hyde Park by 4 points. We lost to Garden City by 5 points. We lost to almost everybody. We lost to every team except one when we played in Premier. But we lost by a lot. You know, if you're getting beat 4-0 by New Hyde Park, no slam against them. But if you're getting beat that badly, it's not competitive. Like a competitive soccer game is 2 points at best. Right? Most soccer games end with 1-0, 2-1, 1-1. Most good games end that way. If it's 4-0, it's a blowout. And the only reason it's not more is because, people aren't perfect at shooting, basically. It's not like we put up an amazing fight and lost 4-0. You know what I mean? That's a lopsided game. So I cited all that stuff, but what I also did is I pointed out that in this past season, we didn't win a single game by more than 2 points. Not a single one. Our highest scoring game was a 3-3 tie where we tied the 7th place team. Also, the 2nd and 3rd place teams, I just checked out their records to see, because they seem way better than us and should have won. We just happened to win. Or we tied one of them, we beat one of them. So I checked their records. They beat every other team in this division by 5 and 6 points. They destroyed half of these teams, 5-0, 6-1. Again, our highest scoring game was 3 points. So I sent all of that in. I said, look, we got crushed by all these teams you were putting us in with. We lucked out to the ends of the earth by beating these other teams that really should have just destroyed us. We just completely got lucky. Plus, the team that they're swapping us with Levittown, of all shit places, no offense, Levittown. Levittown, the last time we played them, beat us 5-0. And they're moving Levittown down to champion, and we have to take their spot. And my argument is that my girls, they're not going to be able to play effectively. To be perfectly honest, I think they're better now than they were, but I also expect those other teams to be better now than they were. And I think that they're going to spend the entire spring season just running right over us. And that sucks. And I, as the advocate for my team and the way that this team wants to play, am filing like an official complaint with the actual board that does this. I don't think it's going to make any difference, but I want it to be on record. And I also want somebody to literally do their goddamn job and look at this and tell me why we can take 14-year-old girls and put them in a situation where they will never win a game on purpose. Why would you do that to somebody? Why? This is not the top. This is not like the NFL. This is not like, Tampa Bay blowing out the, Kansas City. This is not that. These are 14-year-old high school girls. Some of them are still in junior high. And we're just like, yeah, man. Yeah, go ahead and play against these teams that are going to destroy you and destroy your love of soccer. And I told my coordinator, my boss at my club, I was like, this is probably going to end the team, because when that happened last time, it's really hard to lose every single game. It takes a lot out of you because you fight the whole time, because my team is all heart. And they will fight the whole time, and they will still lose, and we will have fun, and we will make fun of towns, because that's what we do, and that's how we cope. But at the end of the day, like, you lose an entire season. It's like, ugh, I don't want to do that. Like, why would you sign back up for that? And again, we aren't looking to, like, win cups and trophies and all that other stuff, but it's just, if somebody took 2 minutes to look at that situation and be like, oh my God, they're gonna get their asses kicked all season. We got to not do this. If somebody took 2 minutes to just do their job, I think it would have been okay. And I think the consequences of stuff like that, it's annoying for me at work. I'm sure it's annoying for everybody in the chat that works with people in systems like that. I'm sure it's frustrating for everybody that is the one person that does their job around a sea of people that don't do their job. I'm sure it's awful. And I'm not saying that this is worse or better than anything else. I'm just saying that I can stare through not even a crystal ball and see that the lack of actually giving a single shit about a problem is about to ruin 3 to 4 months of high school girls' lives. And as anybody that has ever been a high school girl knows, the world's probably doing that for you already. So just don't need your soccer team to do it too. And that's your soccer club. Soccer team would never. So, and that's kind of where we're at with the Hurricanes. But like I said, like, it really just bothers me. Like, all you have to do is just do your job. Like 3 seconds to 2 minutes worth of doing your job, and we could just fix this. And I can't help but think that if the chick at the bank that solved my mobile deposit problem was running the soccer league, I would have had nothing to talk about today on the top 20, and I think we all agree that that would have been better. But whose fault is it really? It's probably Data remembers. That's what I'm going with.